Well, hello again and welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to be talking about the origin of the word Bica. Bica is the word for a small cup of coffee, a coffee shot, or an expresso as you might know it. The word is used in many areas of the country, especially in Lisbon and the Algarve. Incidentally, if you would like to learn about the other kinds of coffees you can get here in Portugal, take a look at the link in the bio below. There is no real consensus regarding the origin of the word Bica. There are some theories, however. In this video, I'm going to show you two theories and you can make your own mind up. I will also give you my thoughts at the end of the video, and you can let me know what you think too. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so now. Click on that subscribe button and click on the bell so that you can get all the notifications. Let's go on to the first theory. The first theory is that when the first espresso machines appeared in Portugal, customers were not used to the strong, bitter taste. As a result, the coffee wasn't very popular. And as a way of getting around this problem, posters were placed in establishments where the espresso coffee was sold, and the slogan, "Drink this with sugar, beba isto com açúcar," was written on these pieces of paper. Now, legend has it that this is how the Bica was officially named. Beba isto com açúcar, Bica. Apparently, all this happened in the legendary A Brasileira Café do Chiado. And it was the management's initiative to create the slogan with the aim of making the drink more palatable for its customers. Some actually claim that it could have been a publicity campaign in order to become more popular. This sounds almost feasible until we get to the next theory. Before we go into the next theory, we have to learn a little bit about how coffee was made and prepared 100 years ago in Portugal. From what I read, coffee was prepared in a coffee pot with boiling water. This was called café de burras because it was bitter and it was gritty. Now, if people were already used to the idea of drinking bitter coffee, the idea of beba isto com açúcar doesn't seem to hold that fast now, because people were used to drinking coffee that was bitter anyway. So I can't see how it would have made a difference once they got the espresso machines. So this is something that I found a little peculiar too when I was learning about this. Now, the original filters for this coffee were porous bags. Even today, there are those that prefer the so-called coffee from a bag, but the filters are different now. And the modern percolators are used to keep that coffee hot. In fact, there are so many different kinds of percolators. I found this out when I was looking online. You've got siphons, you've got all these different kinds of percolators. You've got one similar to the one I drew here. But back then, it wasn't like that. You only had this one method. Now, as we all know, at the beginning of the century, the espresso machines didn't exist. So coffee was brewed in this way. It was dissolved, strained in these bags, pressed, and then poured through a small spout into the coffee pots that were used to serve the coffee at the table. Now, in these coffee pots, the coffee would invariably end up cooling down and it would lose its aroma. So it's said that one day some of the customers complained about the quality of the coffee, and they asked the owner to get the employees to fill the cups directly from the spout, from the bag. So directly from the bag through the spout. And this is how they would manage to get a coffee that was more intense in flavor and aroma. This then caught on, and customers started asking for their coffee to be poured like this all the time. And this led to them calling it a Bica. So, I want a Bica. I don't want it in the jug on the table. I want it from the spout. I'd never heard of this method until I started doing this research about the coffees and how they were brewed. And I'd never heard of this before. So if anybody has anything to add about this, if they know something else, please let me know in the comments below. So here we've got our two theories. one after the espresso machine was invented and one before. There's no real way of knowing for sure. What I thought a good idea to do was to actually look up the word Bica to find out what it means. Obviously, we've got Bica, we've got the noun coffee, but we also have some other interesting ideas here. Bica, translated into Portuguese, can mean spout. So it says, number one, first definition, parte por onde a água ou qualquer líquido cai de certa altura. In English, this means a part where water or any liquid falls from a certain height. Líquido que cai em fio. Liquid that trickles. So a trickle of water that's constant. Fonte pública de água. Public water source, or a fountain, if you like. Now, it seems to me like the word beaker came from the word spout. The spout where the coffee trickles out of the coffee machines resembles some of these old beakers or fountains, if you like. These would have a kind of half pipe made out of stone. It would actually resemble the spout that we see on the modern espresso machines. And the water would just trickle constantly out of these. You don't seem to see too many of these beakers today. They are actually called beakers. I found a couple of pictures that I thought I would share as well. The first one is showing the Bica de Estou, and this would constantly be running with water because in those days, people didn't have running water in their homes. It wasn't a thing to have running water in your home. Some people didn't even have water. So they would have to go and wash their clothes in a wash house, and they would have to go and get their water from elsewhere. So they would go to these public water supplies and they would fill up any containers they could and they would take them home. If they had a donkey, they'd take the donkey along and they'd fill up some of the containers on the donkey and they'd go home with the donkey and they'd have their water supply maybe for a few days. People were much more careful with water back then than we are now. Now, in the next picture, I thought it was quite interesting because these are actually beakers that are for sale. And I found them on a website somewhere. And if you look at the one on the right, it looks very much like the spout that you see on the espresso machines, which I thought was quite interesting, quite funny. So there you have it. So what do you think about all this? Do you think that the original idea of the Bica being from bebe isto com café is right? Or do you think that it has something to do with the way the coffee was poured from these bags? Or do you think, like I do, that it could have possibly got its name from the actual spout on the espresso machine? Because if we analyze this, we find that one of those theories was talking about before the coffee machines and the other one was talking about after the coffee machines. So like I said, there's no real consensus as to when this was given its name or how it occurred. So there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to click on that bell so that you can see the notifications when I publish new videos. For those of you that want to learn Portuguese, check out the links in the bio below. I've got a website with some courses there you might like to take a look at. There is also the platform, Buy Me a Coffee. If you go to the platform, you can subscribe for a whole year and you will get one of the courses from the website absolutely free. 36 lessons with audio. It's over 100 audio files. And if you sign up for the whole year, you can get that absolutely free. Or you can just sign up for the monthly subscription and you will get sent videos when I publish them too. So you will be the first to know about videos. Also, you will get access to some videos that others do not get access to. So these will be videos that you cannot find on my YouTube channel. You can only find them via the platform. So once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you next time.